and they're seeking to explain to me why I should believe in Jesus, they actually use Paul's martyrdom and Peter's martyrdom as evidence for why I should become a Christian, because why would they die willingly? And then I ask them, I can't tell you how many times this has occurred. Where does it say that Paul willingly died for his religion, that he was beheaded in Rome? And Christians earnestly look at me in bewilderment and disbelief, and with confidence, they open up their leather-bound Bible and are spinning through pages, and I'm just standing there and watching them. They're like looking for where it says that Peter was executed by Rome, and after about a minute of this, as they're going through pages, I tell them it isn't there. I mean, I don't want to mock them by letting them go on and on and on. So I tell them it's not there. That's a Roman Catholic tradition. You know, I'm not a fan of the Roman Catholic Church, but Catholic apologists who argue that Protestants are borrowing all this Catholic tradition while giving lip service to sola scriptura, these Catholic apologists are right. The Protestants kept all the good stuff. These are all Roman Catholic traditions that the Protestants accepted because they like them. So there's nothing in the Christian Bible about Paul willingly dying for his religion. Do not come to me and say you can't prove from silence. Okay, you can't. You can't use that. If Paul was executed, the book of Acts would have recorded it. That would be very important. It's a later Christian invention. And particularly the author of the book of Luke is really into martyrdom and telling you how to die for your religion. The idea that he died willingly, this is all a part of Christian Roman Catholic folklore that's invented, and everybody ate this up. Mary was killed. Everybody killed. I have to pull this one little piece here. I have to add this because if I didn't, I'd be remiss. I always wanted to say this. I don't know if I ever said this. Christians sometimes, when they're fiercely arguing for their religion and the wrongfulness of the Jewish faith and the wrongfulness of the Jewish people, will argue, why does the Jews suffer so much? Have you not heard this? Like, why are the Jews persecuted wherever they go? Maybe, like, Jews are getting killed all over the place. Maybe it's the fault of the Jews. Maybe because they rejected Christ. Listen very carefully, because if you've never heard this before, you've been living under a rock. Missionaries frequently argue that the Jews suffer and die because we killed Christ, because we are opposed to the Son of God, because we rejected the Messiah. Worse than rejected him, we killed him, right? So the Jews suffer. Why do the Jews suffer so much? Please tell me. Because they killed Christ. So it's very interesting that when the disciples are putatively executed, that's because they're so great and wonderful, and we should love them and be inspired by their death. The death of the followers of Jesus demonstrates the truthfulness of Christianity, whereas the death and suffering of Jews somehow shows the wrongfulness of Judaism. I hope you got that. And those of you who are or were ever Christians, no, I'm not making this up. Those of you who ever been in the church know that I am not strawmanning this. I'm not inventing this. Why is there these unequal weights and measurements? That's what I want to know. Why is it that the death and suffering of Christian followers of Jesus demonstrates the truthfulness of the cross, but the death and suffering of Jews at the hands of Christians, which is the ultimate mind-blowing chutzpah, that demonstrates the wrongfulness of Judaism?